Okay, I was just prepping for another video, but I just wanted to kind of start this video off just before this whole kind of talk about Giga begins. It's this actual new post from Giga that came out like 12 hours ago, talking about hey guys, and obviously you got the Kendrick Lamar thing. Now, if you guys remember what happened with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, obviously he exposed him for being a bit of a P. Diddy. You get what I mean? And yeah, I don't know if this is just supposed to be a hey guys, and they're just like, it's just a smiley face and he's been happy and they didn't know the underlying meaning behind that. But Giga's not stupid. I think Giga knows what they're doing. And obviously they put hey guys with a picture of Kendrick after he just exposed Drake. So obviously, yeah, people over on the VShojo subreddit are going pretty crazy, saying Giga teasing an absolute bombshell. Yeah, so people are saying maybe the NDAs did get voided. This is Giga, bro. She's done her research, checked with her lawyers. Obviously, yeah, as I said, she seems to be a very smart person, within VShojo, or used to be in VShojo, obviously. So she knows what she's doing. The thing's about to get insane. Giga tweeting this is like the scariest thing I can imagine as someone in their C-suite of this blown up company. It's like Rock Lee dropping the weights, which again, as I said, with the NDAs, a lot of stuff is coming out at the moment. So that's interesting. That's just something I want to start this video off with, because again, that is a major bombshell. That is crazy if that is referring to what we're thinking that is referring to. So replies are flooding into this new VShojo response, which obviously came out around about 20 hours ago from recording. And well, it seems like we have another response from a, I guess, ex-VShojo member now, which is Giga. Now, Giga has not been happy with the way that things have been dealt over at VShojo, and has actually, replied to this terrible response put out by the CEO of VShojo themselves, Gunrun, which everybody has been super mad at. As you can see here, it's got almost 30 million views over on Twitter with only 43,000 likes. That kind of tells you how many people, really dislike this. Now, again, 43,000 likes is still pretty insane for how bad this apology was, and it seems like none of the talent are having this. And obviously with NDAs and stuff kind of fizzling out now, and people, kind of opening up to the fact of, they can now speak about whatever they want to do with VShojo, it seems like we could get a couple more transparent responses from people. Now, this is Giga's response here. They say, VShojo didn't just fail, many staff and leadership failed VShojo, which is 100% true. I think a lot of people obviously were blaming it solely on Gunrun, and Gunrun is definitely a big factor to this, obviously due to this reply that he put out, which obviously was absolutely terrible. But also, I think there's many other staff members as well who has also contributed to the kind of toxic environment that VShojo has created, including Motendu, who obviously is a co-founder and left a couple of months ago before all of this kind of happened. But it doesn't mean that he's exempt from all of the terrible stuff that's happened at VShojo in the past, including the fact that he himself went on to places like 4chan to attack Vebe and other people, as well as spreading rumors at different parties and stuff about them, about the actual talent, and, trying to kind of put the talent against each other, which is terrible. And obviously, it's not the inner workings of a good company at all. They say instead of using talent money on operating costs, the company should have shut down or at least informed us. But you used us as cash cows to keep things afloat while keeping us in the dark, which, yeah, is true. I mean, I think, if VShojo actually had a little bit of a talk with the talent, then maybe they could have come up with some plan to save the company, because I don't think, anybody wanted VShojo to end or anything. It's not like, you're going to tell the talent, hey, we're running out of money here. It's not like they're going to turn around and go, okay, we're all leaving then, bye. They're not going to do that. They're going to try to find a way to fundraise for VShojo, whether it is, subathons that directly, go into VShojo or whatever, or maybe they find some sponsors, or one of the talents has some kind of connection somewhere else that can help them out, then yeah, or just at the very least VShojo being transparent with the fact that it's not going good at the moment. But instead they decided to steal charity money behind their backs, and also steal a lot of their money behind their backs without even telling them the kind of situation that they were in. And obviously, stealing charity money in the first place is you can't excuse that at all. It's absolutely horrible. They say you chose to keep that the expensive sinking ship going, and felt that it was fine to keep paying out to staff you were friends with instead of putting talent first. You made it abundantly clear that you are okay with not prioritizing the debts owed to the talent who made this company what it is, which is 100% true. All of these talent made VShojo. VShojo didn't really make anybody, unless maybe you talk about some of the newer like Nova Project ones who are smaller streamers. Yes, they probably gained some viewership from VShojo, VShojo. But, you know, if you think about Ironmouse, if you think about, you know, Silverveil, Vebe, Nyanas, all of those people, the original kind of members of VShojo, all built up the company to what it is today and got it to the popularity that it's at today. And without them, it wouldn't be where it's at, which obviously is very, very obvious. And this is how they repay them, which obviously is absolutely horrible. Now, obviously, yeah, they continue on saying, while saying you will take full responsibility, while saying you will take the full responsibility is the correct thing to do, I also think there are many others in the company without the same positive intent as conveyed in this message. In every leadership or staff call I had, you sat back and didn't say much, while you had other staff members that are clearly the ones doing the actual work be the ones to speak. So obviously they're saying that Gunrun didn't exactly do anything, you know, kind of, you know, big in terms of managing the company. It was more so staff doing it for him. He said, we know which leadership worked on our contracts. We know which leadership constantly sat in VC playing games with staff instead of working on time-sensitive tasks for our events and debuts. We know which staff consistently leaked information about talent. As the CEO, you are the final check. Yes, but this means that all checks before you failed too. So obviously, yeah, very strong response there from Giga to the response from VShojo. And obviously, yeah, it's not looking good at all. I mean, you know, they even say they were busy, well, not busy, they were wasting time playing games in a VC and stuff with other staff instead of actually working on things to do with the company that were apparently time sensitive. I mean, that's a little bit of new information that we didn't know about before. And obviously, yeah, it's pretty horrible. And I mean, you know, it just kind of proves how unfocused these people were in terms of this company. And I think, yeah, it's just terrible. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this because we've had so many different responses and so many different VTubers coming out and talking about this. Obviously, in my last video, I talked about obviously Zentreya, you know, writing a whole thing about Ironmouse saying he broke my heart, my spirit, my trust, which obviously, yeah, also sucks too. You know, we've also got Shy Lily as well. We got Shoto saying this, and the situation with Copium merch is the exact reason why so many creators are afraid to put their trust in these companies. Just letting your funds deplete further and further while not being transparent and truthful with your talents while pretending all is fine is the fastest way to lose any sort of good faith with everyone in the community. It's disappointing and upsetting that your poor leadership led to VShojo failing as much as it did. None of the members deserve this slap in the face from people they wanted to put their heart and trust into. And yeah, obviously that F you. Obviously that's come from Shoto. You know, Lucy Pye saying, you didn't know about the 500,000 suddenly got added to the bank account. You're not aware of the huge fundraising campaigns your own talents do. Even when it's a charity event that breaks records and has the entire community talking about it. Jesus Christ. Obviously, yeah, that is very true. You know, obviously Gunrun mentioned the fact that they didn't realize that like the charity donations were being used as like the money within VShojo, but I think that's cap. Like, let's be real. If we look at Gunrun's account, obviously we know they you know, reposted stuff to do with Ironmouse's you know, subathon and all of her endeavors to, you know, building up charity money. And then, you know, obviously I'm guessing, you know, he would take a look at the kind of company bank account every now and again, and obviously, you know, realize, oh, there's a 500,000 and Ironmouse recently you know, obviously got 500,000 for the charity subathon. Surely that's charity money. But obviously, you know, he doesn't really want to mention that fact or even go into or even kind of, you know, acknowledge the amount that was actually done. And that's how you can tell they're very guilty, is the fact that they didn't really acknowledge the amount of charitable money that they actually used and wasted and stolen from the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They literally just said, oh, it's just, you know, by the company raising connection talent, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. You know, they said some of the money spent. By some of the money, he means $500,000, which is quite a bit. You know, it's $500,000. It's even over that. Obviously, Ironmouse didn't give a specific amount. She said over 500,000. So again, obviously, that is a huge amount of money to say that some of the money was spent. Obviously, trying to dodge a lot of the kind of accountability for it and just trying to keep himself, I guess, safe in a legal sense. Which, yeah, obviously is very scummy and does not look good at all. But yeah, I mean, that was the overall response from Giga here. Obviously, people as well in the comments saying Giga, a former max level corpo, is the one member you don't want to pull business shenanigans with. Said any work she put in to try and right that ship is way above and beyond what any talent should have done for the organization. What a boss. She joked with Gunrun that when she was hired, that he wouldn't be able to afford her rate if she was a business consultant. Having watched Giga for a while, I 100% believe that wasn't a joke. Said absolutely, she basically turned herself into an unpaid intern, and they still ignored her for consulting advice. Yeah, so again, it's crazy. It said, so someone was actually leaking stuff. It said on stream, Giga, in my view, is alluding to it not being completely being Gunrun's fault, but that is, he is only one of the people responsible. Could be something to keep in mind if lawsuits go forward, which seems likely. Which, yeah, obviously, as I said at the start of the video, there's so many other staff members, including the co-founder as well, who have been, you know, called out by other VTubers in terms of like kind of guided stuff and kind of, you know, kind of mishandling a lot of the situations going on at the moment. So yeah, that's essentially a kind of update to what is going on. That is Giga's response. So yeah, if you guys want to, you know, stay up to date with everything that's going on, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Put notifications on, because again, you get notified as soon as a video goes up. And yeah, that's all I got. And I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.